Meanwhile, in the GTV6...
Oh no, what's that? That third, right, good, third. Fourth? Yeah, fourth. Or is it fourth or second?
Meanwhile, at the Rack and Pinion, it was opening time.
Drop by for a beer later if you like.
Meanwhile, I'd got my car going again and was starting to regret it.
Yeah, this is quite hard work now, I'll be honest. I'm getting pretty tired. My left leg is agony. Gear change. My knee hurts. So do my ears, actually. I'm also quite cold.
Meanwhile, back at base...
Sit down, Colonel.
You're not interested in these, are you?
Do you know what? Your mind cannot comprehend of how uninterested I am in things like this.
Meanwhile, in the Fiat...
This car is absolutely horrible. I mean, the driving position, they put the steering wheel directly above the pedals, so to get comfortable, your arms have to be the same length as your legs, and mine aren't.
Meanwhile, further up the line, May had also got his foot down.
25 miles an hour.
But this turn of speed was causing a few problems. Meanwhile...
This is us.
Other than throw myself down the stairs, this is all I got.
Probably missed that one.
Meanwhile, back at the convoy...
No! Not now. Wait, I've died!
Goodbye.
No, come on!
James, meanwhile, was dawdling along at the back, yet he seemed strangely unconcerned about this.
Now, on the face of it, viewers, this isn't much of a race because I've got the slowest car, we already know that. I only have the use of one arm and I'm steering with a squeaky frog bolted to the wheel. However, it's not that simple. In fact, I believe I will be first because he who is last shall be first, as we know.
Meanwhile, at the back...
Now, viewers, strictly between you and me, I may have made a bit of an error. How can I put it? The engine is too small, the suspension is too soft, and the gaps between the gear ratios are so big I could get another gearbox in them.
Meanwhile, back at the pub, I was repairing my damaged front end.
Annoyingly, the pork that I bought is sort of triangular and doesn't look right, doesn't really fit. So I've got a side of beef, which I think will be great. And I'm just clearing away the old bone. Oh, shoo. Shoo in Welsh. I'm warning you. How would you like to be a petrol filler cap?
Right.
Meanwhile, I was ready for the final charge.
Goodbye, losers. Ignition. Start. Oh, cock.
Meanwhile, back at base, James was having a rethink.
I've decided to abandon my original idea because it was just too weak and too floppy, and instead I'm going to build a car out of bricks. And the basic materials for making the bricks are fresh mud with a bit of water in it, some straw to give it strength, and some sheep poo. You then use that to make the brick shape, and then you fire those in a kiln, and then you use the bricks to build the thing like a house, except of course it will be roughly the shape of a car.
Meanwhile, Much further back, the soggy dog was not being so lucky.
Meanwhile, James and I had become entangled in a bit of a dogfight.
Target locked. I've got him. Dive!
Sod it!
I caught him napping.
You have sown the wind and you shall reap the whirlwind.
Meanwhile, we had only 5 minutes to catch our train connection. And, as ever...
We don't have to run.
No, you see, we do.
We don't. It's 5 minutes away. The
Running
train
is
isn't for another
faster than
15
walking.
minutes.
It's just a fact.
Not really.
If I get on the train and you miss it, that's tough.
Meanwhile, down in Oxford, the Stig was revealing something new about himself. He has a bladder.
Meanwhile, the Stag was plainly bemused by his strange new world.
No! No! You filthy, foul, stinking...
Hammond!
Ah, you stinking, evil, foul-reeking, hell-making...
Richard, meanwhile, had, for some reason, put the shipping forecast on the doors of the Fiesta.
Why have you got Stormy on the side of your car?
Because that's the name of the rapper that young people adore.
No, that's Storm Z. Well, Stormy's that sexual intercourse enthusiast in America.
Popular with young people?
Meanwhile, I'd headed for an organic farm shop to test out my young people modification.
What I fitted to my car, it's powered by the same USB port that you'd normally use to recharge your vape bong, is the most important thing in a millennial's life. And that is, of course, a juicer. Ta-da! Now, using this, I can make a whole range of tasty and nutritious juices using a variety of ethically sound ingredients. And that means I won't be beholden to evil American corporations that murder baby veals and snap the beaks off chickens.
Meanwhile, in the Ford...
Food's okay, temperature's good. Can't tell you how easy this is on my car. Oh! Oh! That's a big rock at the bottom of that puddle.
Meanwhile, after his success with the staged bin fire, James was now getting carried away.
Ah, looks like a job for me. My pleasure.
Meanwhile, far ahead, my four-wheel drive Subaru was scampering along.
Come on, come on. I am king of the forest.
Meanwhile, having got rid of the ape, I was back on my sightseeing tour.
This is our Cheddar Gorge. Obviously, it's not as big as your gorge. The Grand Canyon is bigger. Well, it's longer and deeper and wider.
But it doesn't have any cheese in it.
Why can't you just leave me alone?
I'm just saying, everything in America comes with cheese, apart from the Grand Canyon. Whereas this canyon does come with cheese, and it's delicious. Here, have some.
I don't want
It's
cheese.
better than Monterey Jack in a tube. Can't
You're
you?
ruining this.
No, you...
Meanwhile, to pay him back for breaking it in the first place, I decided to redecorate his treasured bike.
You know, he will be apocalyptically cross about
Oh, I
it.
know, but he's crossed about everything, so it doesn't really... It doesn't really...
Now let's have a go. Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, Hammond's Ferrari had decided all on its own to make a telephone call.
Selected. Calling
What?
Vernon K.
Vernon,
Is this correct?
why are you calling Vernon K? Why are you doing that?
While, in the BMW,
Kato, my suit jacket. Kato, fire extinguisher. Kato, now. Thank you. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the Daytona,
How was that? Oh, bad. Hang on. You all right?